Ferrari's new SUV is here, and after suing a charity for the rights to the name, it's called the Purosangue. But unlike Bentley's Bentayga, this car isn't based on some bogo SUV platform that's available to you and I. Ferrari were dedicated to making this as much of a thoroughbred Ferrari as any. You're watching Auto Anorak, and let's find out why Ferrari's new Purosangue is an SUV that you should actually be excited about. You don't get a muffled turbocharged unit in this car for government regulation's sake. I'm sure a twin-turbo V8 Purosangue will come along later, but for now, you can only get the Purosangue with a glorious 6.5 litre 715 horsepower V12 that takes this car up to 193 miles per hour. Who would have thought that when the Enzo was released in 2002, that 20 years later they would be producing a more powerful V12 SUV? This has come as a shock to many, but it really does make sense when you think about it. Ferrari could have made an SUV years ago, but they didn't want to. You see, as you're probably aware by now, Ferrari are all about brand equity and upholding the name of the prancing horse. That's why they sent a cease and desist to Deadmau5 for his Nyan Cat wrapped 458, and why the LaFerrari didn't come with an electric mode despite having the capability. Because Enzo Ferrari said that no Ferrari should ever be without an engine note. Sorry about that terrible accent. Anyway, the detest for this car is more recent than that, as Ferrari's CEO Sergio Marchionne in 2017 said that creating such a car would be offensive to the brand's history and would never live up to the driving dynamics of a true Ferrari. That's why they really have taken their time with this car to make it something special. Not just a body and badges job, not just a cash cow Levante with a prancing horse badge, but a proper, fully fledged masterpiece built from the ground up by the most recognizable car brand on the planet. And with that, let's take a deep dive into just how much of a masterpiece this is, starting with the looks. We had already seen leaked photos and unbelievably accurate renders of the Purosangue, but I don't think I'm the only one that was shocked at how beautifully this car has come together. The front end is aggressive and sleek considering just how large and blunt the overall structure is, and it features those new lights that have been seen in newer Ferraris like the SP1, Roma and SF90. It's rather cleverly split into two sections as well, with the sort of Roma-esque top section and 812-esque bottom section with that front grille, which makes the car look lower and more sleek than it actually is. The side profile has plenty of sculpture and is almost a caricature of what you'd expect the production version of this car to look like. It's fair to say people were sad to see the dramatic proportions of the Urus concept lost in the production model, and Ferrari seemed to have learned from those mistakes and made the most athletic looking SUV out there. It almost looks like a concept. I must say though that the triangle shape in front of the doors is very reminiscent of the triangle in the Urus. A coincidence perhaps? Another cool thing is the rather deceptive rear doors, which have fooled many people into thinking that this is a two-door, but no, just like a Mazda RX-8, it has, well, I can't say this word, but you know what types of doors I'm referring to. And just like an RX-8, you don't get rear door handles. This smoothens out the look and overall makes the side profile look like a slightly beefed up GTC4 Lusso, which was a two-door car. I'm also a big fan of those wheels, which have a lot more going on and look much better than what I would say has been a rather basic selection of wheels from Ferrari in a lot of their models recently. Lastly is that rear end, and my goodness, a strapman would say Girth Nation is present today. This is the chunkiest rear end of any car I've seen this year, and I love the proportions with that gigantic wheel and rear haunches that contrast against the tiny rear windows. It gives this car such a purposeful and powerful stance. The rear diffuser and exhausts are very Monza-esque, and they accent perfectly against those Roma-style thin taillights. Whoever designed this car had the toughest job in the world, and just somehow they've done it, which is good news for Ferrari because this could have very easily been the most hated car this year and a vehicle that began the end of Ferrari. Then there's that interior, and wow, the structure of this thing, all the shapes. I hate to keep slamming the Urus as a complete Lamborghini fanboy, but you cannot ignore the effort that Ferrari have put into making this a special place to be. There's some very familiar elements like the relatively complex digital steering wheel, gauge cluster and passenger infotainment, but for the first time in a production Ferrari sold to the public, we have proper rear seats accessed by rear doors, and they look extremely opulent, and I can't be the only one that wants to do a road trip to the south of France in one of these with all of their best friends, with that naturally aspirated V12 singing in the background. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments section down below. Do you think Ferrari have actually killed it with this thing, or are you very pessimistic and feel that all SUVs should be destroyed? I kind of believe in both points, but I think for a Ferrari SUV, this is about as amazing of an execution as they could have done. But other than that, guys, honestly, thank you so much for watching this video, and to those that are the OGs out there that watch videos time and time again and have subscribed. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. I was talking to someone the other day about how close I am to reaching 10,000 subscribers and how that was kind of like a pipeline dream. I mean, I never expected that this channel would come to such a level, and it really makes me excited about the future for this channel and really makes me want to hit that 10k. So if you're watching this and you think you can help by subscribing, please do, but obviously no pressure. Maybe I'll have to make a few more better videos to convince you. Anyway guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.